If your paycheck lands on Friday and your stomach already feels tight by Monday, the problem may not be the size of the paycheck. It may be the order of operations. Most people treat payday like a green light. Bills, groceries, gas, a few small treats, and then whatever is left is supposed to become savings. But leftover money almost never survives the week. This is the paycheck trap. Money arrives in one clean deposit, then leaves through 100 tiny doors before it has a job. And because those doors are small, the trap is hard to see. No single purchase looks guilty. No single subscription looks like the villain. But by the time the next bill arrives, the paycheck has already been turned into memories, convenience, and vague relief. In this video, I will show you a simple paycheck rule that turns every paycheck into a plan before the month gets a vote. The trap starts because a paycheck feels like a balance. You open the banking app, see a bigger number, and your brain says, "We are okay." But that number is not spendable money. It is rent money, utility money, food money, insurance money, debt money, future repair money, and only after that, lifestyle money. When all of those jobs sit inside one checking account, they look like one pile. That is why people can earn more and still feel broke. The paycheck is not lying. The account is just showing you money before it has been sorted. Once you understand that, payday stops being a celebration or a panic button. It becomes a sorting event. The first leak is timing. A bill due in 9 days does not feel urgent on payday, so the money quietly gets used by something that feels more immediate. The second leak is small convenience. $10 here, $18 there, a delivery fee, an upgrade, a forgotten subscription. None of it feels like the reason. Together, it becomes the reason. The third leak is emotional relief. Payday often arrives after stress. The nervous system wants a reward, not another spreadsheet. That is normal. The solution is not to become a robot. The solution is to build a system that protects your future before your mood starts negotiating. The best system is not the strictest one. It is the one that runs while you are tired, busy, annoyed, or tempted. Here is the rule. On payday, separate the paycheck before you spend from it. Not after bills. Not after the weekend. Not after you see how the week goes. Before. Think of each paycheck as 3 lanes. Lane 1 is already spoken for. Lane 2 buys breathing room. Lane 3 is permission to enjoy life without wrecking the plan. If the money is not assigned in the first hour, the week will assign it for you. The rule works because it changes the question from, "How much is in my account?" to "How much is actually available after every dollar gets a job?" Lane 1 is the baseline. Everything that must be paid before the next paycheck. Rent or mortgage, utilities, minimum debt payments, insurance, transport, groceries, childcare, and any bill that can create a real problem if it is missed. This lane should not be guessed from memory. Put it on a bill calendar. Payday on the left, next payday on the right, and every due date in between. Now the checking balance stops being a mystery. You can see which dollars are already reserved. This one move removes the most dangerous illusion, thinking you have extra money because the bill has not arrived yet. If you only do one thing after this video, write down every bill that will hit before the next paycheck. That list is not negative. It is clarity. Lane 2 is the pressure buffer. This is not investing yet. It is not luxury. It is the money that stops one surprise from becoming a credit card balance. If you are starting from zero, make the first target small on purpose. $500, then $1,000, then one full paycheck ahead. The magic is not the number. The magic is distance. When money sits between you and the next problem, your decisions get calmer. A buffer turns emergencies from disasters into inconveniences. That is why it deserves a lane before lifestyle spending. People often skip this lane because it feels boring. But boring money is powerful. Boring money lets you sleep. Boring money lets you say no without panic. Lane 3 is guilt-free life money. This matters because a budget that never allows enjoyment usually breaks in secret. You do not need to hate spending. You need spending to stay inside its lane. After baseline and buffer are protected, decide what can be used for eating out, clothes, entertainment, hobbies, and tiny upgrades. The goal is not to remove fun. The goal is to stop fun from borrowing rent money and calling it normal. This is also why the life lane should be visible. If you know the amount, you can enjoy it. If you avoid the amount, every purchase comes with anxiety. The routine can take 15 minutes. Open the bill calendar. Move lane 1 money where it belongs. Move lane 2 money away from the main account. Leave lane 3 visible for the week. Use separate accounts if you can. If not, use notes, jars, envelopes, or a simple spreadsheet. The tool is less important than the separation. The key is to make the protected money slightly inconvenient to spend. Not impossible, just inconvenient enough that an impulse has to pause. When the buffer is out of sight, your checking account becomes honest again. And honesty is the whole point. A smaller honest balance is safer than a bigger confusing balance. The real turning point is becoming one paycheck ahead. That means this paycheck is not paying for this week. It is paying for a future week. At first, that sounds impossible. But you do not jump there. You build it in pieces, $100 ahead, then $300, then half a paycheck, then a full paycheck. Every piece creates more time. More time creates better choices. Better choices create more money left over. This is how the cycle starts to reverse. When you are behind, every choice feels urgent. When you are ahead, the same choice can be made with a cooler head. Mistake 1. Waiting for a perfect month. Perfect month is not coming. Start with the next paycheck and a small protected amount. Mistake 2. Using a budget that depends on motivation. Motivation is not a system. Put the transfers on payday when the money exists. Mistake 3. Treating every leftover dollar as available. Some leftovers are future bills wearing a disguise. Mistake 4. Cutting every joy purchase at once. That usually creates a rebound. Keep a small life lane so the system can survive real life. Mistake 5. Trying to solve a timing problem with guilt. Guilt may create one strict week. A payday routine can create a different year. Imagine a $2,000 paycheck. Before anything else, $1,200 is assigned to baseline bills and necessary spending before the next payday. $200 goes to the pressure buffer. It is small, but it is protected. $300 goes toward debt, savings, or getting one paycheck ahead. The remaining $300 is the weekly life lane. The exact numbers will be different for you. The point is the order: protect obligations by breathing room, then spend from what is truly available. If the same $2,000 stays in one account, it feels like freedom for a few days. If it is split on payday, it becomes instructions. The first thing that changes is not your net worth. It is your anxiety. You stop checking the balance 10 times and guessing whether you are okay. The second thing that changes is your reaction to small surprises. A tire, a fee, a school cost, a medical copay, or a higher grocery week no longer has to become a full financial emergency. The third thing that changes is your identity. You stop thinking of yourself as bad with money and start seeing the pattern for what it is. Money without assigned jobs gets consumed by the week. That identity shift matters because people repeat systems faster than they repeat motivation speeches. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, the goal is not to shame yourself into spending less. The goal is to stop letting one account pretend every dollar has the same job. On your next payday, do not ask, "What can I afford this week?" Ask, which dollars are already spoken for, which dollars buy breathing room, and which dollars can I enjoy safely? That single question changes the paycheck from a temporary high into a decision system. And once a paycheck has a job before the week begins, the broke cycle finally has something it can push against. This video is for general education only and is not personal financial advice.